My friends and I recently hosted a pre-release event for the latest Magic the Gathering set, The Hobbit. We're massive Lord of the Rings fans and Hobbit fans as well as Magic players, so we're really keen for this one. I thought it would be cool to keep with the aesthetic and film everything on a old camcorder, so come with us and join in on the fun as we delve into the land of Middle-earth through Magic the Gathering. I arrived bright and early, ready for a big day of Magic, and Strider and Shadowfax were already ready to go. Baggins currently lives in Melbourne, so had flown into Adelaide just to play with us. Shouts out to you, dude, that's huge.
I'm going on an adventure!
Pippin made his way out of bed and embarked on the treacherous journey down the hallway. He's lucky we were playing at his house.
A wizard is never late.
Bubble O Bill.
Nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
With me, that made 5 players, meaning we were one short. Luckily, we were able to find Mr. Soprano himself, sleeping downstairs on a couch from the party the night before. It was now time to crack into the packs, but my mind kept going back to the prize that we were playing for. Can't actually remember who brought it or where it came from. Anyway, quick interlude to show you the ridiculous setup that I had to film myself opening the packs. I loved all the extra details hidden in the pre-release box. The little phrase as you open it up there, which reads, "In a hole in the ground there lived a hobbit," which is the opening sentence to the Hobbit novel, as well as the door opening up to reveal a hearty meal. I think those touches really help make the whole experience a lot more immersive, so I really love that. I thought this was a really cool touch, having a planes for each season, revealing Bag End in all the seasons. That was great. And then my promo here was Desolation of Smog, which I took a while to admire. Thought it was a really cool card, and it made me want to play red straight away. I love how they've gone back to having 3 different artworks for booster packs rather than having one artwork for every single pack. I think it's just one of those small things that when you've played Magic for a while and they take something like that away, it feels like you're cheapening the experience. So I love that they brought that back. I started laying out my cards in colour order, popping cards that I thought were a bit stronger or rares to the top and everything else in the bottom. This Chief Walker caught my eye and gave me an idea of maybe going black-green. I then saw I'd opened Belladonna Took, which I read for a bit. It seemed like a card for the white-blue recruit deck, so I put that up the top and thought about that too. I was excited to see that I opened Bilbo Luckwearer in the special art. I showed it off to the table. Seems like a pretty cool card, and that's when I was thinking maybe blue-white is where I want to be because he seems like such a strong card. This is probably my biggest pull of the pre-release, Gandalf Goblins Bane. Just seems very cool. I really wanted to play red after opening that plus my promo. I remember saying to the table, I'm convinced it's good. I haven't read it. It's a mythic. I'm convinced it's good. And just like that, it was over. That was my full pre-release pull. I wasn't really too sure where to go when I was building this deck. I was caught between a lot of different colours. I really wanted to play red because of Gandalf, but my red commons weren't actually that good compared to the commons I had in other colours. I was caught between green-black, red-black, and red-white. I ended up building this green-black deck when I realised I'd opened quite a few of the good one-drops in green and black. This is what I went with, and we'll see how it goes. We then got into the matches. We all played on a pool table. The night before, the roof had leaked over the pool table, so one section just had a towel over it, which is pretty ridiculous.
So it begins.
Baggins had set up a pretty good value engine with his landfall elves.
I make 2 elves.
So he was in for the long game, just keep making more and more elves. But Schreider also had his own little elf trick up his sleeve to break the stalemate. Onto the feature match now, which I thought would be fun to record, just one of the best of 3 games we played. This was me versus Pippin. Please don't make fun of how he shuffles. It's just how he is. This was game 2. I'd won game 1, so Pippin was going to start first. He starts off with a mountain, and then I go to draw a card and he goes, whoa, 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 I've got things to do. So I was a bit too hasty there. I thought he was just trying to show me the flavor text on the mountain, which is fair enough. But he actually also had a 1-drop to play. So he played Tidings of War, which led him to Max Goblins 1, and he can flash it back later to a Max Goblins 3. I then checked if it was okay if I started my turn, seeing as I had cut him off before, and just played a swamp and passed. Pippin also just played a swamp, swung with his goblin and passed. I drew, played a land, and played Bjorn's Hospitality, which is a nice one. Funny thing about this, in game 1, I played Bjorn's Hospitality on turn 2 as well, then went to great lengths to explain the card, which Pippin sat there and let me do, before going to his second turn and playing Bjorn's Hospitality as well. So he just sat there knowing exactly what the card did, but let me monologue about it for over a minute. There's then a classic pre-release moment where Pippin plays Long-Bodied Grey Dog, and none of us know exactly what it does, so he first brings it in tapped before we realise that no, it doesn't come in tapped, the treasure comes in tapped. Pippin then realises it has flash, so he probably should have just played it on my turn, but decides it doesn't matter because now I know that he has it, he'll just attack and pass his turn. I then play a Ravaging Warg and follow up with a land, so I can hit the landfall trigger and give it a +1/+1 counter. Then follow up with a Nighthawk Pursuer and pass turn. Pippin then decides to use his treasure to cast Atacop to slow me down a bit. I untap, I draw, play a land, get a landfall trigger. Then I play the Chief Warg. I get a trigger from the Chief Warg, draw a card, lose a life, and get a +2/+2 on my Nighthawk Pursuer. It's a menace creature, so it puts him in a high position here, so Pippin decides just to take the damage. He draws, shows me a very cruel artwork on the Slow Slope Hunter, and plays it for turn. Has a bit of a think and passes turn to me. I play a land, I get a landfall trigger. Pop it on my Nighthawk Pursuer. Then I play the Meager Meal side of Goblin Silent Slinker to put a +1/+1 counter on my creature. Move to combat with my menace creature, get a trigger, draw a card, lose a life. Put him in another tough position here. After some thinking, he decides to take the damage. Then he goes to draw, and it's my turn to say, no, slow down. I can still play my golem. I've still got 4 mana. So I have a think about it and then play my golem. This was funny here. I reminded him he could untap his lands, and he goes, oh mate, I'm spending it, don't worry about that. And then immediately plays effectively murder on my creature. I play another land, get another landfall trigger, just getting so much value out of Beyond's Hospitality this game. Pop it on my next menace creature and attack with him. Get a trigger, draw a card, lose a life. So much value from those 2 cards. He elects to take the damage again. I pay 3 mana for a Mirkwood Pathmaker, which is great here because it's a 6/6, and then pass it over. Pippin plays a land. He then shows me his mythic inside information. He wasn't too sure on how it worked, whether if he tapped out his mana, he got to play the cards that he revealed from my library. So I explained that you could just pay the life for it. So he pays 4 mana, reveals a 1-drop and a land. Unfortunately, he'd already played a land this turn, so he paid 1 life to play one of my 1-drop creatures, which wasn't too bad because it gave him another blocker at least. Unfortunately for him, on his end step I flashed in Little Bear, which gave me another attacker next turn. Then I untapped to move to my turn. Had a bit of a think. Played my 7th land. Tried to work out where my landfall +1/+1 counter would go. Then tap out to turn Bjorn's Hospitality into a big bear. And then just said, math is for blockers, work it out. He then decides to do the most evil thing and put all of the blockers in front of my little bear, effectively saying no matter what happens, the little bear is going to die. What a bastard.
There is no curse in Elvish, Entish, or the tongues of men for this treachery.
Despite this, I find it in my heart to shake his hand and wish him best on his next games. Over in the Tau spot, things were heating up. Soprano was down to 4 life, and Shadowfax was on 3.
I didn't hear no bell.
Soprano then whips out a Gandalf Sparkstarter, targeting Shadowfax for the final 3 points of damage. An insanely clutch play considering this is his first ever pre-release. Shadowfax had a clutch play of his own, however, with the final card in his hand being Sound the Trumpets, countering Gandalf.
I'll just attack with both my guys.
GG.
Oh! Okay, bro, that was good. I thought you had me.
Wow.
I'll say
That
Sound
fucking
Trumpets.
counterspell,
Yeah.
Needless to say, Shadowfax was pretty chuffed with himself. We continued playing more games, having great times, telling stories about Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Some of us even tried our hands at our best Yu-Gi-Oh impressions.
A 1/1 elf who's supercharged by Thronwheel 2/2. Beat that. You swing. 2. Play.
I'm going to...
2. To tell you that I have Thrush.
Soprano did end up getting himself that clutch win as well, flashing in head of the hunt for surprise lethal. With the games over, it was time for the awards ceremony. Only one person could claim the 1 ring. And I'm proud to say it was me! My aggressive black-green strategy paid off and I was able to smash through and go 3-0. Here are the final standings for the day. We had a great time with this set and can't wait for its proper release so we can draft it. As always though, the real magic is in the gathering. It's amazing that this game can bring so many people together and we had an absolute blast. Thanks for watching, like and sub, comment, all the good things, and see you next time.